We make each other better. We bring the best out of each other, and just having competition is good. We're good friends, and we support each other, and it's a natural competition, but it's been good so far.
What were you able to learn from last year's competition that may be able to help you, this year?
Yeah, obviously with me and Casey's competition last year, it's somewhat similar this year, and honestly, I just focus on myself and what I can do, just going in every day and do the best that I can do, and hopefully things will take care of itself. So I try not to worry too much about the other guy and try to play the best that I can play.
You're older and you're more mature. How's that helped your comfort level going into this fall?
A lot, honestly. Just being in the system for another year obviously helps a lot. This is my first time in college, being an assistant for 2 years. So knowing the system a little bit better and just trying to grow, obviously does help a little bit. So.
What would you say the biggest thing you needed to work on from last year to this year was to help you be a better quarterback?
Yeah, one is just being more comfortable in the pocket, staying in there, knowing when to leave and, when to stay. That's one thing that I've been working on. Being able to connect more on the deep balls, which is something that we've been emphasizing. And then as well as just being more comfortable in the system. And, that takes time and reps, but it's coming along good this year. So.
Do you have nightmares from the Arkansas game?
It's just something that I learned from, honestly. Obviously it didn't go the way that we wanted it to go, but for me, it's just a learning experience for me. So just learn from it, and move on. And so.
Do you think you're obviously a really good athlete, but, we were all wondering why you didn't run more, take off more in the Arkansas game. Is that something that they would use your talents more if you get the job?
That's ultimately up to Coach Sark and his decision, so I'm going to leave that one up on him.
Because in the West Virginia game, though, you played a lot better, but you also were hurt also towards the end there. Can you just kind of describe that, one, the growth there, but then obviously that pain towards the end?
Yeah, going into the game, when I got my opportunity and things started clicking a little bit, I kind of got in a rhythm and it was going good. And then obviously that injury didn't help, but it felt good just to be out there and with the guys and just kind of get in a rhythm and feel more like myself. So.
How hurt were you in that game? You seemed to just be hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, I had a high ankle sprain, so those don't feel the best, but just try to toughen it out for the team. So.
What was the experience like last year for you? It's just a roller coaster of starting and then kind of shuffling in and out with Casey and dealing with an injury at the end of the season. Just overall, what was it like for you?
Honestly, it was just a learning experience. Like I said, learn from that season and move on and try to use my past experiences and ways to help me for this year. So honestly, just try to learn from it all.
Did you entertain entering the transfer portal? Why did you decide you wanted to be back here at Texas?
This is where I've always wanted to play. It's been my dream school, and there'll be competition everywhere. So just decided to give it my best shot, and a lot of it too is faith and that sort of thing. So it's just where I want to be at this moment. So we try to take advantage of it.
But along those lines, a school like this is going to recruit. They're going to try to get 5-star guys at every position every single year, right? So in that respect, did it bother you that here's someone who's coming from Ohio State, wherever, and it's like all of a sudden it's all this hoopla with this guy? How did you take that?
Honestly, like I said, I try to focus on myself, and I try not to listen to all the outside noise in the media and that sort of thing, and just really talk to the people closest to me in my circle and just do what's best for me. Like I said, just trusting God and his faith and just showing me where he wants me to be, and I felt like this is where he wants me to be at this time. So.
In your mind, regardless of who they brought in, do you feel like you should have a leg up on everybody because of the experience?
Well, I think it's just something, everyone has different tangibles to bring. Obviously for me, I have a little bit of experience, and I'm just going to try to use that in my advantage, and like I said, just learn from last year and what I've been through, and just try to improve from last year to this year. So.
You said you and Quinn are friends.
Mm-hmm.
Give us an example of you guys being friends.
We've just always got along since he's gotten here. He's a great guy. we help each other during certain times, and obviously we're competing, but we're rooting for each other at the same time. And ultimately, we want what's best for the team. So
When's your graduation date? When do you graduate?
I believe I graduate in the fall of 2023. Could be a little off on that, but I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
That semester, like that Christmas, that semester?
I believe so. Yeah.
How do you work on your pocket presence outside of just live 11 on 11 reps in practice, like during the summer?
Yeah, it's honestly hard to really make it the same, honestly. Obviously you can have people throwing stuff at you, bags, and helping you move and stay in the pocket, but it honestly comes most from actual live reps. So, this year just being able to stay in there more, find easy completions, check downs instead of escaping, and just knowing the difference when it's good to escape and when to kind of settle in there a little bit more.
When the vocal leadership, that was a thing last year. Sounds like guys are saying you're being more vocal this year. Is that just from your experience, or are you consciously having to tell yourself, man, I gotta be vocal every chance I get?
I think it's from experience and just being here, but also it's something that I've wanted to improve on, especially in the off season, and kind of rally the team. So it's something that I've been emphasizing for myself, and obviously you can always get better at aspects like that. So it's just growing in that spot and in that position for me.
Are you talking to yourself in your car? I mean, what are you doing to be more verbal?
I mean, honestly, I just let it come natural. You don't want to come off as fake or that sort of thing. So just come off as natural and, use my personalities to my strengths, and just don't be someone that I'm not, basically.
What would you give as far as a scouting report on Quinn? How would you describe his skill set?
I mean, he's a great player. He can make all the throws, and it's been fun just being able to compete with him and learn from each other and that sort of thing.
Y'all not compete away from golf, ping pong?
We're gonna play some golf one day, so maybe that'll come soon. So I guess we'll see. I don't know.
How is he meeting?
I think we just push each other in competition. He can make all the throws, and I believe I can too. So it's just watching each other and just learning and taking a little bit of advice here and there from each other.
What did you learn by sitting on the bench last season? What were some of the things you learned sitting behind Casey and then being on the sidelines that maybe make you a better quarterback today?
Yeah, it's just all different perspectives, just being able to watch and kind of gather my thoughts and be really more of a watcher than a player. You just get a different perspective on everything, and I'll try to use that to my advantage.
You won a competition to be a game one starter, and that changed. Did you seek any assurances that this would be a wide open competition this spring going into next?
Yeah, I mean, I think it will be. That's the plan, and ultimately Sark's the master, and he knows how to handle these situations. So I'm just trusting in him, and ultimately it'll be his decision on whatever he wants to do. So.
How hard is he?
For a couple last ones?
How hard
You feel
is-
comfortable with everything?
No, I do.
You feel
Yeah.
comfortable just sitting here, you see him totally cool, chill now.
No, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, just time and experience, and just being in the system football-wise for another year helps a lot. So.
That's cool.
How hard is Sark on you guys? He was a college quarterback himself. How hard is he on you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he coaches us really hard. He expects a lot out of us, but he does it in a great way. So just having him around and having him as a mentor is really special. He's one of the best coaches to do it. So I'm blessed to have him.
Yeah,
How
there's,
does he want to change the offense? What were y'all kind of emphasizing that you didn't have as a team last year?
I think the main thing just for everyone is just understanding the playbook a little bit better. And most guys have been in the system for 2 years now, so everyone has a good idea of the plays, but now it's really getting into the small details of the plays of what really make it go, and just understand situations, everyone, and just understand what to do and not to do, because football's a game of situations, so it's just knowing how to handle that and that sort of thing.
How mobile is Quinn? Is He was more of those.
I mean, we both play, differently and to our strengths. So, he's a good player. So.
What do you think of
Time
Malik?
for one
What
more.
do you think of Malik?
Yeah, Malik's big guy. He can spin the rock. Our quarterback room in general is super close, and we have a great group of guys to rally behind. And he's a great player. He can spin it, and I know once he gets healthy too, it'll start coming even easier for him.
Hey Hudson, probably our last time to talk to you over the next couple of weeks. Outside of UT, can you give us a Garrett Wilson story as he gets ready for the draft? Maybe a moment where you were just like, what is this guy doing?
Garrett's a stud. Not only is he a freak on the field, but he's a great person, great teammate, and just being able to play with him since high school, and now seeing him, going to be a first-round draft pick is pretty special. And, I'm super happy for him. And one moment was probably, I could honestly see it all the way, but we had a 7-on-7 tournament in the state championship, and we had a Hail Mary. My sophomore year when I played receiver, actually, he had a Hail Mary catch. I think it was like 2 games in a row, but just unbelievable catch. And just the way he can control himself in the air is pretty unbelievable. So I'm rooting for him.
Last one, Nick.
Yeah, Hudson, just curious, if you had heard all of Morrow's comments from the other week, and, if so, what do you think about him? What do you think about the form that he used and the message he sent? How would you assess this team's culture right now?
All Morrow wants to do is win. Coach Sark and our team addressed the situation as a team and inside the building, and we're putting it past us and behind us, and we're good as a team, and that's ultimately what matters. And I think our culture has gone up a lot even from last year. I think we're in a great position, and guys are really bought in, so I'm feeling really good about it.
Thanks, Hudson.
Yep, awesome. Thank you.